So I think some of the people doing this parallelly, right? Or not? Nobody doing this? If you want, you can try this parallelly. If you may face any error, we can discuss and short it out here only instead of after recorded the session. Okay, yeah, of course, Sonia did the good job. She is recording. Even like after, if you are not doing this in parallel, you can watch the video and you can do that. And yeah, as I was saying, please try to use 8G or 16G RAM laptop, guys, or else this will happen.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Seems like it's taking a long time. Even 8G RAM laptop also, like we are going to use some kind of a enhanced, especially made it for Python only. Those kind of IDEs we are going to download, which is called PyChamp. So it is as I was mentioned, it's a heavyweight IDE,
Hmm.
and your RAM will, I mean, may not support for that.
So I'll just stop my sharing. Somebody else can share for the next steps.
That would be also better. What about Shiva, right? Like I can't exactly pronounce that name. That person said we will follow something like that in the chat box. Can you share it? Can you talk? Or else is there any some problems with your microphone? You
Shiv,
can't. She, right? Or he? Is
Shiv,
that?
Shiv.
Ah,
Not Shiva, but Shiv. Shiv, you're on mute.
I don't think so. He's talking or not. Ah, anyway. What about rest of you people? Sanya and Surya, Praveen, these people's. You guys, any one of you having 8G RAM data? Noise is there from my backend.
No, I have also 4 GP.
Okay. Your side. You just share your screen. You don't have to talk. We can. I will tell you what needs to be done. Is it a 8G RAM laptop you have? Unless you're going to say anyway. Type in the chat box. Right? What about you, Praveen Kumar and Sanya? Any one of you people can share? What about you, Vijay Lakshmi? It's 4 GB. Nobody having 8 GB. Come on, guys. Really? Because I did configure everything in my machine, so I can't do it again. So that is the reason I'm asking. Okay, I'll give you a quick view what exactly needs to be done. Hope you can see my screen. So this is the one that ideally I'm talking about. You can see my screen, right? Isn't it? Bhushan. Oh, sorry. Is that your name? Yeah, Bhushan, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one ID list I'm talking about. So all you have to do after you installed Python, you can just type pycharm and you will get community edition download option. If you hit that one, sure. If you hit the first link, let it load. Hang on. So you can see you're getting two versions, professional and community. You can hit the community edition because it is one for free version. Professional, if you download, you have to pay something. So you can clearly see that free 30-day trial only. So this is enough. Okay, so you can download this one. It will come around 400 MB. Once after it is downloaded, you can click on install, and you don't have to click on any marks such like we did in Python console, like marking any box. You don't have to do nothing like that. Just give install next and install and create a new project. You will get a workspace like this wherever. And okay, so let me comment this. It's already my previous work. Oh, my bad. And all you need to type, so print hello world. Okay, and if you run this, you will see the result. if you done exactly downloaded the Python and PyCharm, in the sense PyCharm automatically will go and fetch the Python console which already you have done downloaded and installed from the official python.org website. So that is the console and this is the idealist. I think Bhushan know what is the difference between console and idealist, isn't it?
Console and IDE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so console is just the black screen we saw, and IDE is where it is a developer environment.
Okay, let me put it in another way. Console is which is the thing which is going to run your program actually, whatever the code that you are going to write. You want something should understand that code and run. So that is the thing what is doing that. That is we used to call them as a console. So that is we have downloaded in the python.org. That is the console. Okay, and this one is idealist where you can write codes. Of course, there is a lot of idealist, which means what is idealist in the sense integration, development, environment. That is what we used to call them as IDE or idealist. Both of them stands for same thing only. Okay, that is what ideally means. Wherever you want to, whatever the code that you want to write, you can write in that, and you can connect with your console and you can run it, of course. Or else you can directly open the terminal and type Python and open Python shell. Okay, let me show that one as well. So, okay, so it is Ubuntu machine. I have to mention the version also. So you can see I'm using 3.8 Python 3. And you can write your code directly in here. Okay, let's see, let me write something, and if I get enter, it is printing. Of course, the problem is you cannot write a large line of codes here, 100 line, 1000 line, even for the 10 lines also. Here in the Python shell, you cannot do that. And once you get out of this, which means once you close this command line interface, nothing will get saved, and you are not able to save this one. So that this is not recommended. Like you just want to check a single line, this is enough. But that is not our case, right? We are going to write a multi-line codes, and we are going to develop a lot of programs and projects, right? So that time Python shell will not help you. And you can ask like why we need to go with PyCharm, why don't we go with another IDLs? Of course you can do if you know, if you already familiar with another IDLs such as Jupyter Notebook, Sublime Text, VS Code, a Notepad plus plus, this much only, Spider. A lot of IDLs is that you can use them, but this one is specially made for Python. Even maybe I'm saying maybe after getting the job in your company, also a lot of people will they will prefer to use this one. Okay, and the problem, another one benefit is here, you don't have to save it each and every time. It will automatically will get saved. Okay, and the codes also will be remain there only, so that every idealist will do. And if you take the VS code, you have to store it. Once after you return your completed code, you have to save it, then you have to run it. But here it will automatically will get saved, and VS code will not intimate this kind of errors to you, but PyCharm will do, because it will understand whatever you are writing as a basic syntax of Python. It is inbuilt with PyCharm. Okay, that is another one of the benefit. If you are a beginner, you will face this kind of errors if you're using some kind of idealist such as VS Code or Notepad++. You just run like type this kind of code and saved it and run it. It will throw you error, but you will not see those kind. It will not intimate this kind of errors until and unless you are going to run the program. That is another one problem, and here you will get that benefit as well. And following that, if you go and find the file settings, if you open here, you will see something called editor. So here you can go and change the font size, and here appearance is there. If you click on it, here also you can change. Okay, this is one, right? Okay, so in, if you want to change whatever you are seeing here, typing here, you want to make it bigger, go to the editor and find the font option. And here, if you change the sizes, it will make you, it will make whatever the codes that you are writing into a bigger format. For example, if I make 20, you can see it is changing the size. You can clearly see that, right? So if you give OK and apply, this size will come, whatever the course that you're writing inside of it. Hope you understood whatever I'm saying. And when once you written, or sorry, installed and created your project, what will happen? It will be in the black screen, which means the background theme will be black, and you just want to change it into, in case for your convenient, if you want to change it into the white, just click the settings logo, and you will find the theme operation. It will be in the dark color mode, and it will be, I am not comfortable with this theme, you can change it here to IntelliJ Light, something like that. It will be in the bright format. Okay, till now you guys have any doubts? Nobody? What about you, Bhushan?
No, all good so far. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the way that you need to follow the configurations, what and all the console ID list that you need to download and install. And yeah, so let ask Bhushan, like you said, you already installed and tried something with Python, right? So which means before that you have researched something about Python, right? Can you tell me what kind of language is Python?
Oh, no, no. I mean, I just downloaded it today just to check what all it is there. That's all. I haven't worked in Python ever.
Which means you're saying you haven't researched anything about Python?
Not, not really.
Not that much, or you haven't you already worked in a Perl, right?
I
So if
worked for long back, yeah.
okay, so what kind of language is Perl? Can you explain?
Uh, Perl, what kind of language in the sense?
No, it's varying from C, C++, Java, even from Python.
Yeah, it was similar to C++, so it was object-oriented programming language.
Okay, so is it a static language or dynamic language? Is it interpreted or
Yes. Yeah, it is interpreted dynamic language, yeah.
okay? So apart from that, it's a platform independent.
Mm, not that I'm aware of.
Platform independent in the sense Perl that can run on any platform OS or Unix or Linux or Mac OS. Is it
Yeah,
supporting
I
all
used mostly
platforms?
on Linux itself, yeah.
Linux only will support, it is not supporting on Windows, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have used it only on Linux back then.
Yeah, platform independent means that statement. I think hope you understood that thing, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
will.
I got it, but I said I'm not sure. But yeah, it will be platform independent, right? I mean, you can, yeah, yeah, it was platform independent as far as I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And following that, does it have? Is it a open source or?
Perl programming?
Yeah.
Um, no, I believe we had license for that.
So if we want to use Perl, we have to pay something.
Uh, I don't remember of. I don't know.
You said license in the sense they will give you the free license, or we need to buy that license,
Oh, no, no, no. It was just a registration. So it was a free license itself. Yeah. So you can call it open source.
which means it's a open source, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the libraries? Does it have a lot of libraries?
Yes.
Okay. And what one more thing in the sense, yeah, general purpose language. Never heard about the term. What is a general purpose language? Which means the question is, Perl, is it a general purpose language?
General purpose. Mm,
I think you understood the statement, right?
yeah.
Which means you don't understand the general purpose means, or else,
No, I don't recall exactly if Perl is general purpose or not.
which means you are saying Perl we cannot use in all departments, which is comes under the ID, sorry, IT department. I mean to say, GUI development, application development, game development, website development, machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning,
So
and
it
what
is really, yes, so you can use for absolutely everything.
that is what meant for general purpose language, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yes.
so, what about the questions that I've shooted to Bhushan? That's exactly the introduction of a programming language, or else that's how we can give an introduction, or else we can define a programming language. If somebody asks you what kind of language is Python, in the sense you may mention these kind of points, right? Like, it is a general purpose language, means wherever we want we can use it, and um, like even it is, of course, if you want me to elaborate briefly, in the sense we can say it is, we are using it into website, like it has a framework called Django REST framework, and Wagtail website. So why I'm mentioning these things, in the sense these things are all most popular in the current market. Like if you even search in Google, go and open the Chrome and type what is the most popular website framework, in the sense you will face first one is Django. Now, for it is Django only, I admit it. Django has Python is the basic of Django, which is a mother of Django, and Django have two more childs, which is Python from Django, Django to Django REST framework, Django REST framework to Wagtail. So Wagtail is the top position. It is it is like we can say grandchild of Python, something like that. We can say it is a enhanced version of website, which will give you more interactive way and basic files, website gateway interface, settings, configurations, models. Those are all the things. It's in-depth website development parts. I think you guys maybe don't know. I think Bhushan know that these things. Like, what kind of job you are doing with Paul, Bhushan?
So back then I was a quality engineer for VMware Workspace and then VMware ESX.
Quality engineer in Selenium, using Selenium.
No, we were purely using Perl for uh,
Even for testing purposes,
configuration of network device for ESX. That's what was my role.
which means even for the testing also we can use Perl.
Yeah, we used it. Our entire test framework was in Perl at that time.
Fine, fine. Okay, got it. Okay, where I was left. Yeah, explaining about the website, right? Yeah, there we have most, of course, Python have tons and tons of library. I'm referring Django in the sense, why in the sense, it is in the top in the market. Even it is overtaken JavaScript libraries. I'm talking about backend only, guys. Don't confuse it with front end. I think Bhushan can explain what is the front end, back end, right? You know that, right? Isn't it?
So in programming as such, or in general in systems?
No, back end. If you have a website, what is the front end? What
The
is the back
website.
end?
So yeah, in front end, it will be the end user console where you will get the output, and in the back end there will be web server which will be accepting all the requests, managing all the requests, and then loading web pages based on the request.
Yeah, so that is exactly in the top of the market for backend development only. I'm telling this in the backend only. If you check with in Google, I'm clearly referencing this result not applicable, which means may be true or may not be true for in India's situation. Because it's world level, I'm searching. So the backend website development design, or also development IDE, or also framework. If I click like this, you can see what is coming in the first place, Django only, right? So of course, why it is come in the first place, in the sense it is so versatile, and it will give you more security, and it will give you, like, very it will automatically give you all the configurations. Even I also don't know exactly what is those in-depth mean of the configurations, like installed applications, website gateway interface. Some of them, around it will give you some kind of a something called settings.py in that Django REST framework. If you want me to explain that, I can brag the all over the night, but we don't want to do that. This much is maybe this also will may confuse you, so I don't want to brag it. So it will give you some kind of enhanced version instead of you have if there is nothing, if there is no Django or any framework, you are not going to use simply pure Python only. You are going to use and create a website in the sense for the basic creating and logging or else binding with the site and creating a just a message into a website. You need to do around 1,000 or 1,500 lines, and Django within a single line pip install a Django command using, you can do that within a minute, which means all the codes already written, it will do that for you. So that's what I'm trying to say. So that is the reason Django got so much famous. And maybe for out of the 100% why Python got famous, in the sense I can say 40% Django also the reason. It was developed on 2005. After that, only after the rise of AI and Django, Python was got famous. And another one reason I can say memory. You will understand why I'm referring memory here. Before that, question this question for you. I think you know C, C++, and Perl, right? I don't know exactly the Perl. Whenever you're going to declare a variable, still you guys in Perl you're using int keyword, str keyword like that.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why we need to mention that one?
So that our interpreter will understand what value we are trying to call.
Exactly, that is not the case. What it is means exactly in the sense, it's a memory saver. Okay, and to be for the record, Python was created on 1989, and Java was created on 1995. But still, on in that decade, Java got famous. Python didn't got famous. Do you know what is the reason, Bhushan?
No.
The reason is Python will consume a lot of memory and
Mm,
Java will not consume a lot of memory. The reason is they are declaring the memory before going to define a variable. Int means 8 bytes, str means 16
right.
bytes. Like that, they are going to define the memory. So this variable going to contain this much memory bytes only. But if you didn't declare that, that language will consume a lot of memory. So that time in a decade before, we cannot afford that much of memory. So everybody start used Java, C, C++, those kind of things. And today we have a lot of memories after the rise of artificial intelligence and um, which one, Django. We have started use Python over there.
Mm-hmm.
That is the main reason, and we can say memory is the part of like we can say why it's got famous nowadays, in the sense memory also one reason, Django also one reason, and artificial intelligence also another one reason. So this is the three reasons why we got famous, the Python especially got famous nowadays. Okay, and it is a general purpose language, as I was mentioning. You can anywhere, you can use it anywhere, whether it's a scientific calculation or data science algorithm or machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, website development, application development, game development, firewall development, security development, whatever the things that you want, you can use it. Like even I can say NASA using for the scientific calculations, Google using for machine learning, and YouTube also using machine learning. Netflix, it is they are using for application development on the back end, front end. In top to bottom, 100% it was created by Python only, and Instagram using Python. So, which means it is a general purpose language. That's what I'm trying to make a point here. And it's sorry, you want to say something?
No, absolutely agree.
Okay. So, and after that, interpreted language. I think you should, you said it, Bhushan, right? Like, what is the interpreted language?
So it will interpret line by line as instructions.
Exactly. So, a programming language can, let me put it in that way. You have 100 lines of code. In that 50th line, you have error. In the sense, even whatever the codes that you have written above the 50th line, if the programming language can explain, so execute the results up to the 49th line, whenever the 50th line crosses, that time only, if it is throws the error, that kind of language we used to call them as an interpreted language. Even anywhere in the underlying line code, anywhere even a single error happens also, if a programming language cannot execute any results about the program, which means even after the above the 50th line also a programming language cannot execute the result, that kind of language we used to call them as a non-interpreted language. Did you understood whatever I said, Bhushan?
Yeah.
Can you explain in your way? Maybe I bragged it too much.
No, so I was just saying if there is so the compiler does it the way where it will compile the entire code at a time and try to bring out if there are any errors which need to be corrected or if the program is runnable or not. Whereas in the interpreter, it will just check line by line and it will give you the error at line 50 itself, which you have to correct so that the further program will be interpreted.
Yeah, like means it is what I'm trying to say. It is the interpreted language. You will if it is a bunch of line of code in the sense where it's if it is somewhere some error happens, you may see the results which is the uh, now above line codes results. Whenever the error happens, that time only the program will get stopped. In interpreted languages I'm talking about, I don't know, non-interpreted language, even a single error happens in the sense the entire program you will not see any results. Once after you compile that error, then only it will give you the former results. That's what the interpreted language means. And platform independent, I think already I did explain, like it will support in all other every platform. You can run the code in Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, anywhere, and even the cloud platform also. So that is what we used to call them some platform independent language. And you can write any codes in Windows and you can swap the same code into Linux also, it will support. So which is we used to call them as a portable. And following that, uh, library, that I just want to show you. Library, so if you want to go to check how much libraries is there and you want to get some details about that library, all you have to type, open your, go to the PY organization and you hit the enter. And here this is the official website for Python libraries. And here you can see around 7 million libraries and 3 million projects, sorry, 4 million projects, right? Okay, so this much is there. So it's a very huge extensive library programming language. Everything is a library only in Python. Even Django, Django REST framework, Flask, Pyramid, and what is that, a NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, even for PySpark, everything is library. So that is the reason we got this much library. So every results, every problems are already sorted out. You have to find the respective library and you can use it in your current program. That's what extensive library means. And apart from that, I think I already explained general purpose language. And yeah, open source. Can you mention what is the drawback whenever we are using the open source languages, Bhushan?
The risk of open source languages,
Yes. Disadvantages or risk?
the support can be limited.
What about the security?
Security, yeah, overall support itself will be very low. So obviously security.
Yeah. So you may face some kind of Trojan horses. You know, I think you know what is Trojan horses, right? Okay. So if it is open source in the sense, you will get, even if you get the Trojan horses, there is no authority. You cannot ask anybody to like why this programming language course has a Trojan horse. If it is the paid version, licensed version in the sense, out of 100%, you will not face any Trojan horse. Even if it is happens, also you can ask them. Okay, there is authority will be there. So that is one drawback. But you can use anywhere. and you don't have to pay anything to the maintenance group, nothing like that. So that is another one advantage of open source language. That's it. Okay. And I think dynamic language, that also I explained what is the use of int keyword and str keyword and why we are not using that in Python as well. And dynamic language means a programming language can take its own decision. That is what we used to call them as a high level programming language, or also we can say it as a what is that, dynamic language. Yeah. So a programming language can make its own decision without asking the user or also programmer who are writing the code. For example, what I'm trying to mean here, if you are trying to add an integer with a float, if it is not a dynamic language in the sense, it will throw error because there are two different data types. You cannot add them. But if it is a dynamic language in the sense, what it will do, it will directly go ahead and convert that integer into the float format. Then it will add and it will return the float result. Which means that time it won't ask you anything, or else it will not throw anything error as. So that kind of language, even JavaScript also will do the same thing. So these are all dynamic languages. I'm not sure how it will work with C, C++. If you want, you can try it them. Okay. Okay. This is, I think, pretty much enough for introduction for Python. However, not yet configured. Please do configurations. Maybe the class will get started on Wednesday, I hope. I'll let you know tomorrow the class will be there or not. Okay. Anybody having any doubt or still?
No.
Yeah, sure. Then anyway, you people, everybody there in the WhatsApp group, right? I'll put a message whether
So
it's
only
there.
Python and PyCharm should be installed, right?
Yeah, that is enough, right? Is
Okay.
there something you want to ask? We need to install or something?
No, no, I mean anything additional I need to configure, or that's good enough, these two things.
That is enough, I think. Apart from that, you don't need anything.
Okay.
So whenever you need any more like some out of the inbuilt functions, we can install the libraries. That's it. That we can do with PyCharm only.
Okay.
Sure. I'll catch you in the next class. Thank you.
Okay.